anorexia nervosa.
The reality is that having a little bit of cake now and again is not going to kill you.
Overseeing the group's progress are consultant psychiatrist Dr. Peter Rowan and eating disorder dietitian Ursula Philpott. The course is beginning to help the group make some real changes in their lives.
I have been spending more time with my parents. We just understand each other a bit better. To know that people actually do care about you suddenly is very reassuring. Yeah.
I don't want to live my life in the way I live it at the moment. I want to be normal so that I can actually have my life back, and instead of wasting it all worrying about food. Wish me luck.
Today the group are going to a takeaway to face their toughest challenge yet.
I've brought them to a pizza restaurant where they'll be cooking and preparing and then eating high-calorie and high-fat foods.
For most of us, pizzas are a treat to be enjoyed once in a while, but anorexics see them as high-stress food.
Eating pizza, it's probably one of the scariest foods you could ask me to eat. Pizza is always rather synonymous with not very nice fast food, takeaway and yak.
Pizza for me is something that sort of carried a fatty stigma with it.
Making a pizza from scratch using high-fat ingredients will force the group to confront their controlling anxieties about the food they eat. First up, they prepare the base.
Go on,
It may seem very surprising to a lot of people, but anorexics in fact are foodies.
Very good.
They're people who actually love food. They're usually interested in it. They've always loved it. In fact, they take this love to a really higher level of being completely obsessed by it.
I love cooking. What I make is quite scrummy. Oh yeah, this is great, and put a bit of that in and put it and mix it all up, and I'm quite good at it actually.
It seems that there's not much else in her life that is as important as food. What she's going to be eating, what she's going to be buying from the shops, what we're going to be having for dinner.
Ashley's self-starvation has meant he's denied himself high-calorie food like pizza for 5 years.
I'm just so stringent with my ingredients that it's just not enjoyable because I'm so tense and I'm so desperate for it not to include something that I'm not comfortable with.
Cheese is a vital ingredient in any pizza, but for Morag, even a small handful is too much to bear.
Put lots of cheese.
We don't want too much cheese,
thank you, that's fine.
I used to eat cheese a lot when I was younger. Since I've had the illness, it's been much more of an issue for me because it's fat, really, and I just sort of see it as that.
Can see tomato sauce.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Any amount of cheese is a challenge. It's just frightening. It's just like asking you to go and jump off a cliff or something. You'd think twice about doing it, and when somebody's pushing you to do it, it's not easy.
With the pizza made, the hardest challenge is still to come: eating them.
We'll start with a slice each. I'll probably have, if it's a lunch, I'll probably have 2 of these slices. Pull it. Got it? Yep.
I think the last time I had a pizza was about 5 years ago, so it was nice to sort of reintroduce that today.
Cheese is what goes on pizzas, and that's what makes them taste nice. So I was trying to kind of balance it all up.
By eating pizza, Morag is facing her cheese phobia head-on.
The task was deliberately difficult. I asked them to step out of their comfort zone, to feel quite uncomfortable, and they all did that.
The group managed to eat their first helping, but consuming more calories is their #1 goal, so Ursula pushes them to try more.
Well done.
But for Fiona, the prospect of another slice is a step too far.
You can't. You've had enough.
Really, I'm going to stop. I just think you're just going to keep eating and keep eating and keep eating until someone actually says to you, stop.
Anorexics almost always are terrified that they will lose control of their eating if they start and then eat out of control and gain weight. So essentially they don't allow themselves particularly to eat the sort of foods which are most out of control. So they may deliberately avoid foods that they have previously felt were favourites.
When I had pizza in the past, I would just, for a Saturday night tea, have a whole pizza, and it wasn't about how big it is, how much it made me feel full. I just had to eat the whole pizza.
I mean, anorexia has been described as a spring that gets wound tighter and tighter and tighter, and the tighter it gets wound, the more scary it is to let go. But actually, what we find is that when people do let go of the control a little bit, it doesn't mean that you eat and eat and eat and you won't stop. That, it never happens, but it's something that people always think will happen, and that's something you're terrified about happening again.
Yeah. I've got good at that.
Have you?
Most definitely.
So you let it go of a bit of the control.
Huge appetite. I really do. And I've never been big, which is the ironic thing. I've never been big. I've never had to worry about it. But I worry now that I won't know where to stop.
Although the group have struggled to clear their plates, eating a high-fat takeaway has been a huge step for them on their road to recovery.
I think for me, it's so good to make something and then sit down and enjoy it, and not have other people enjoy it and ask them how it tastes. It's great. It is.
It's always going to be tricky to do today, but I've managed, and I had that second piece. It is hard doing things that you're completely out of your comfort zone doing, but it's helping, and it has helped.
When I started off, I was really absolutely terrified of cheese. So to be able to put it on something and eat it today was a big step. It's hard to know how I feel about today. It's brought up a lot of emotions for me that are quite hard for me to deal. I think what's nice is that I can see how far I've come in a short space of time. As far as food's concerned, I really am starting to make good steps towards recovery. So it's about taking what I've learnt from this, and I'm very motivated to keep moving forward.
It's the final meal in the feeding clinic, and for Louise, it's a plateful of jacket potato with cheese and beans.
If I can think properly, this is like the first proper meal, hot meal that's ever been put in front of me.
While Carly's having chicken and chips.
Are you looking forward to getting a proper diet back tomorrow? And
I'm looking forward to mainly to trying to keep up this appetite.
In just a few days you've come quite a long way.
Do you know what, I even want to eat these hard chips just so my plate's empty at the end of it. I'm stuffed.
Is it worth leaving that? But I think no, I'm going to leave it. Because I think that is where to go wrong. I don't know when I'm full, and now I realise I'm full. I think, but there's only a little bit to finish, but should I carry on with it now?
It's a real result for Carly and Louise as they reach the end of the diet swap.
I think the hardest thing this week had to be being pushed to the edge with food. Now I have honestly learned the true meaning of hunger. So I didn't like it at the time, I really, really didn't, but now I'm really, really glad.
The hardest thing for me was eating when somebody else has finished, and I think, from this experience I've kind of taken away the fact that I can carry on until I'm actually full and not just when I think I'm full.
Before they leave the clinic, the girls meet up with Dr. Jessen to get their individual 12-week health eating plans.
So let's now give you your diet plans, which I've got over here. Louise, your one, and Carly, that's yours. Louise, yours is all about portion control. With you, they were a little bit over the top, so we're going to control those more, and we're going to make the options a little bit more healthy. And Carly, yours, you're going to have to plan this. You need to take food with you so you can snack and make time to eat. I'm going to see you again in 12 weeks' time, all right? And hopefully you're well on the way to you losing some weight, you gaining weight, and I think you're going to feel so much happier and healthier and more confident, both of you.
It's still going to take time. I don't think it's something that's going to change straight away, but I think if I just get myself mentally prepared, then I'm able to do it.
Right, this is it then.
Good luck.
Oh, I'm going to miss you. And you. The Louise that came in at the beginning of the week was, I don't know, a bit confused about stuff, but I think now I'm going out of this house with a completely different attitude to life and food and everything, really. I think my mind has completely changed, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of my life.
Coming up, Anna finds ballet is tough